go again. Okay, let's speak on it. Yeah. Rise up. I was born as a black man, raised by a black man. Now I'm feared as a black man because of my color. Tell me, how does it make sense? You get no consequence. We get killed over nothing because of our color. I don't know what to do, but I'm tired of you taking all of my fame. There is no excuse. What you want us to do ain't gonna put up with you. Think you're getting away. Murder. Oh. So you wanna act like us, wanna look like us, you wanna dress like us, but you don't respect us. How do you look in the mirror when you give us the reason to fear us? You think it's a game, but we ain't playing. The way you're doing us just the same. I don't know what to do, but I'm tired of you taking all of my fame. There is no excuse. What you want us to do ain't gonna put up with you. You're getting away. Murder, where is the love? Something's gotta change, because we all bleed the same. Oh, it's getting harder to forgive when we're the only ones that's losing our lives for no good reason. Yeah, I know you want us to pretend that we're okay and just get over it. Not this time, we won't lay down. We're not okay, okay? We've gotta find a way, yeah, to bring some loving, nothing here today. What's going on? Stop judging us. Stop being afraid of our color. Oh, give us a chance. You just might find out that you love us. Oh, a change has gotta come. I believe a change is coming, y'all. My people go on. It will be okay. MJB Music with JB.
Thank you.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
We got a special show.
I'm so glad to just have your attention
Right.
just for a moment.
Wow.
I promise you, we're going to make it worth your while. So I'm Mario J. Brown, singer, songwriter, and CEO
In my right hand, my
of
co-host.
I am
MJB
James Buford,
Music.
a.k.a.
And my right
Jimmy,
hand, my co-host.
a.k.a. Jim, a.k.a. Yeah, CMO of MJB Music We here live and in the spot. I'm excited about this show.
Oh yeah. So listen, man, we brought you this podcast
Oh yeah,
just to
just
bring
to
you
bring you
everything
everything
music
music
education and
education
culture.
and culture.
We
We
understand that it's more
understand that
than
it's
just a
more
song.
than just a
I've
song.
had the opportunity
I've
to
had
be
the
in the industry
opportunity to be
for
in the
about
industry
20
for
years, a
about
little over
20
20
years, a
years
little over
actually.
20 years
And
actually.
I know that there's
And
so much that
I know
goes
that there's
into it.
so much that
I've
goes
garnered
into
some
it.
really,
But
really
I've
valuable
garnered some really,
relationships. And
really
so
valuable
I've been pulling on
relationships.
some
And so
friends, man,
I've
some
been pulling
industry
on some
friends, and
friends,
they're
man,
coming
some
and they're
industry
bringing their
friends, and they're
supply
coming and
and
they're
they're
bringing
sharing
their
all
supply
kind
and
of tools,
sharing
just to
all
kind of
kind
help
of
you along the
tools,
way. So
just to kind of
James,
help
tell
you
them some
along
of
the
the
way.
people that
So
will, well, not even
James,
the
tell
people,
them some of the
the
people that
type
will,
of
well,
people
not
that
even the
we'll be
people, but
talking
the
about
type of people
and
that we'll
talking
be
to on this
talking about
podcast.
and
Well,
talking
I'm,
to on
I'm
this
glad you
podcast.
asked because we're going to have a ton of expertise in a lot of different areas. We got people from the from producers, which we had on Monday with Percy Beatty. We're going to have songwriters like we had with William Beckton, and we're going to have makeup artists. We ain't had one of them yet.
It's
Entertainment
coming.
lawyers, but
Yeah, oh yeah, it's
photographers,
coming.
and all people from all genres of the music industry. It's going to be amazing.
Yes, yes, yes. So all that and
Yes,
more.
yes,
So
yes. So all
our
that
focus for
and
today,
more.
again,
So
we truly
our
value
focus
your
for
time and we
today,
don't want to
again, we
waste it.
truly
The
value your
topic
time and
today
we don't want to
is
waste it. And the
the
topic
role
today
of the
is
music
the
director.
role of the
Man.
music
So let me just
director.
read my
Man.
man's bio
So
that's our
let me
guest
just
today.
say,
Young
Young
World is one
World
of the
is one of the
best to
best
ever do it
to
and
ever
has
do it
MD
and
for
has
national
MD for
recording
national
artists.
recording
National.
artists.
Such as Chris
National.
Brown,
So
Diddy,
Diddy,
Whitney Houston,
Whitney Houston,
let me see,
let me see,
Usher, Mary J.
Usher, Mary
Blige,
J.
Teddy
Blige,
Riley,
Teddy Riley,
TLC, New Edition,
TLC, New
T.I., Lil
Edition,
Wayne,
T.I.,
Blackpink. I
Lil
could just
Wayne,
go on, man.
Blackpink. I could just
And
go
it's
on,
and
man.
I
And
still wouldn't run out.
I
The
still
man is
wouldn't run
blessed,
out.
man.
The
But more
man is
importantly,
blessed,
above
man. But
all of
more
those
importantly, above
accomplishments,
all
man,
of those
above all of
accomplishments, man,
the goals that
above
he's
all of
reached,
the
he's the
goals that
most
he's reached,
genuine,
he's the most
kind,
genuine,
man of
kind,
character, integrity. And what I love
man.
about him, man, his humility
About him,
speaks
man. His
louder than his
humility speaks louder
accomplishments.
than his
And that's one of the things that
accomplishments.
I felt
And that's
before
one of
I
the
knew
things
anything
that
about him.
I
So,
felt before
man,
I knew
y'all
anything
in for a
about him.
treat
So,
today. But
man,
before we
y'all in for a treat today.
continue,
But
JB,
before
tell
we
us what's going on in our culture,
continue,
man. What's the news flash of the day, man? What's going on?
So
JB,
what we
tell
got
us
going
what's going on
on
in our
is
culture, man. What's the
Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is
news?
in the news. I thought I was going to talk about Megan, but Nick Cannon. So he just got fired from Viacom, CBS, which the host MTV and his show Wild and Out. So he just got fired from some statements he made on the new on his pod show on his podcast, and he was making some anti-Semitic statements, and some people felt they felt it in their heart, and they end up letting them go from the station, man. And so um,
Wow.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel kind of like, we
Wow.
live in a world that we need to be able to say what we want, but then on the flip side of that, you got to be careful what you say because they do have consequences.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you know what? One thing about Nick, man, he's very innovative.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
believe
But you
he's
know
gonna
what?
be all right.
Innovative.
Whichever way
Absolutely.
the
I
wind
believe he's gonna
blows,
be all
he's
right.
gonna be good, man. And
Whichever way the wind blows,
I did read
he's gonna be
something a little
good,
while ago
man.
before we started the show. I
And
think Oprah was
I did read
recommending
something.
Bill to come aboard the OWN network. So
Wow.
you never know, man. But
You
either
never
way,
know,
man,
man.
we're gonna continue to just you know keep
But
abreast
either
of that
way, man,
story
we
and see what's going on. But Nick is a
Absolutely.
genius, man.
Because
I
I
ain't
mean,
worried about
Wild
him
and
at
Out is
all.
one of the most popular shows that's out there, and it's a great improv. And
oh
so yeah, he
man.
can take that thing anywhere. That's only if he owns the rights. So we just hope he's a good businessman.
That's the key right there, bro. That's
That's
Yeah,
the key.
yeah.
key.
So today,
So
man, we're
today,
talking
man,
about the
we're
role
talking
of
about
the
the
MD. So James, tell
role of
me
the
why you think
MD.
having a
So James,
qualified music
tell me
director
why
is
you think
important.
a
Why is it
director is
important to
important.
have somebody who's qualified
Why is it
lead the
important to
show?
have somebody who's
Well,
qualified leading the
again, it
show?
goes kind of like with a producer, but the MD does it on a live set. They bring all the tools together, make sure everyone knows the music that they're supposed to know, and that they're set up and they're ready to go for the show. And making sure. So I think for that aspect, and see, you know what, in the modern church we do have music directors, but a lot of times that's not one of the key positions that they put in church. And I think that they are needed
Yeah,
uh,
Yeah. Oh
in the
yeah.
church as well. The secular does it, and it's a reason why they do it. And I think it's not a bad thing to have them in the church because again they make sure that everything is done and prepped and ready, and that your band is polished when they get on
Yeah.
stage.
oh yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. And as
I
an
definitely
artist,
agree.
man,
And as
music
an artist,
directors they
man,
make our jobs easy.
Yeah.
You know
you
what
know
I
what I
mean?
mean?
We get there and we're able to just
We get
be
there.
free to not worry about
We're
if this is going to
able
be
to
in place place, and then they just
just
embody what
be
it is
free
they
to
bring,
be
and
bringing. They bring a whole new flavor to it.
I've been
Absolutely.
blessed
So I've been blessed to,
have a little ends and not
have a
ends
little ends and not ends with Young
man,
World as well.
without
So man,
further ado,
without
Yeah.
further
I want
ado,
you guys to
I
welcome
want you guys to welcome my guest,
our
our
friend, my
guest,
brother,
my
my
friend,
spades
my
partner,
brother, my
Young
spades
World.
partner, Young World. Young World.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
What's up,
What's
everybody?
up, bro?
What's up, everybody?
Man.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you for those that
I'm happy that
tuning
everybody's
in.
here, man.
I'm happy that
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're glad
Happy
to
to-
have you, man. Honored to
Yes,
have you.
sir. Yes, sir. We're
So,
glad to have you,
man.
man.
We're gonna
Honored.
dig a little bit, man. I wanna give the most out of you
I
that
want to
we
give
can in
this short amount of
So,
time.
basically, I want to start out with the first
question.
James, we can just bounce off of each
And
other.
James, we can just bounce off of each other.
How did you get your start in the
Music industry.
We
We understand that everybody has a different journey, but I kind of want to dig into how did you get your start and what were some of the steps taken to where you are.
So
are you asking to start as being a musician, or start as becoming a music director?
You can go from music to musician to music
Okay.
director.
Okay. And what I want to let everyone know is that there is a difference.
because you're a talented musician.
Because you're a team that you're ready to be a music director. And
I'll
I'll go into that.
later. But in terms of the journey,
A little later.
professionally,
I started with a gospel group out of Rochester, Divine Nature.
and
I believe at the time we were trying to maybe gospel centric or verity. And so that was important. The young one, I was the young one in the band that I cut my those groups with those.
whether if it was Divine Nature, certain
Whether if it was Divine Nature, that local choirs around Buffalo, that you had people out. I know I know people that had worked with Fred Hammond. They would come back and do workshops, and they would come back and do workshops, come back and work with community musicians, and start just being kind of my Bible study, the whole nine, and then so getting hired to Divine Nature, being a professional. Even though they probably weren't as guys who had been out, they had guys who had been out, and so again, I'm cutting, and so again, learning and out, learning. I had already learned at a young age. My dad was a drummer. My uncle, my dad is a drummer. He's a guitar player, music director, music director. It's like I had to learn. It's like I had to learn to be matured in order to hang with them and get information from them. But they weren't gonna let me around. You know what I'm saying? So I had to not time it basically.
Yeah.
I mean, not only from the talent. One day, the lead singer Robbie, and he was like, "You the youngest cat in the band. You the youngest cat in the band. Like, you on top of all your parts. You on top of all your parts. You the youngest guy. You the youngest guy. But you holding it. It's like, man, it's your world." And so, laugh.
Wow.
And laugh. Name kind of stuck. So they'll do it if they have midnight musicals. I don't know if they do it back in the much. I don't know if they. Up in the area, I live in Atlanta now, but night musical up in like that area, they did a lot of in the back of the church a lot of times because we would go last and things like that. So me being in the back of the church, out with the back of the church, kids, I would nudge each other and point. That's Young World. I'm like, oh, so this is the thing. Like the name has kind of, and so basically, it was more relatable. It was more relatable for me to just say, "Hey, I'm Young World," and people would be like, "Oh. This cat named YungWurld," and so on and so forth. But after working with my uncle, had called some work to do some work with Teddy Riley, and basically went out there. I was a part of another band. Didn't even get the chance to work with Teddy, and because Teddy and everybody, and just bringing in the people comfortable working with. Was comfortable his previous working with, whoever his. So I was on my way. And my uncle was like, "Man, I got too bad. Man, you might as well just hang out." But I was defeated. I'm like, I didn't come to hang out. I came to work.
To work. Absolutely.
Listen, and just you don't know here. Opportunity knock. And so if opportunity knock and you're back in Atlanta, you won't be. And if you stay and nothing happens, then fine. But if you come, your life could change. And so I understood that. And so yeah, it was probably maybe about another week or so. Keyboard player had asked Teddy before rehearsal, can he go to the airport or whatever on their lunch break, pick up his mom? Somebody was coming in town, and I know Teddy was like, "Yeah, that's cool. We'll take our lunch break." But at the time, Teddy was trying to manage Jodeci. So at the time that Teddy was taking his lunch break, Devontae or somebody Teddy was like, we on the way. I mean, he's competitive, but he's also excitable. So excited. He's coming to rehearsal. He want to be Teddy. He want to be jamming. He's on the way. I want to play. And so basically, like, we can't play if our main keyboard player. So it was about what about Youngin? What about old boy over there? Ah, he don't know the stuff. He did stuff. He did. Yeah. So they were like, but he came. Are you cool? You comfortable? Like, do you know the stuff? And I'm like, well, I don't know what he was teaching you guys because I'm on the sideline. I said, but I'm listen, with the music and stuff. If you play this music, not to his life, not to his, you're probably never going to get another opportunity. So this is your choice. And there's nothing wrong to say either, and there's nothing playing. It's not like he needs to. He's probably never use you again. But see, it was that divine intervention between my uncle told me, what my uncle told me, and that opportunity. So I just, I'm not gonna say corny, but it kind of felt like this good opportunity. He was, I'll keep. I remember Teddy used to live on his tour bus. This is when he used to live on his tour bus. He had to Randy out, Michael Jackson out on the bus. And so to work on his bus, rehearsing outside the club, bowl of cereal. Looked at the band and laughed. It was, I guess, about to be a joke. I think I remembered about what he was saying.
Right.
He's working with. And so that opens the door and comes in. Showed it. Well, it wasn't the full Joseph. Well, it was in Bonte Swing's entourage. When they came in, Teddy raised his arm and we started the first note. By the time we got into maybe song, the dude was wearing red. No, at the time it was wearing all red, but it was he comes in. He's like, man, you're my keyboard player. If you're not playing, I'm not singing. You know, he was just really excited, and it just went on and on and on. I ended up meeting Usher's brother. Just went on the same month, red hot. So basically, the start of my career came from working in Teddy's band and also Teddy's band and Jay's who's Usher's little brother. You go out, you mingle. People like what you got going on. Working with Teddy Riley or whatever, Michael Jackson, J-Lo, this, that, and the third. I'm also working with Usher's little brother, and so that was kind of my calling. People were like, "You're doing that. Can you work with us?" And so that's how it kind of started, and that's pretty much kind of started picking up momentum that I became a professional.
Wow, you said a lot, man. That's amazing. I love hearing the journey behind how everything came together, and just being there.
Some people miss the moment
because they're afraid to even.
Yes, that was,
my takeaway from that segment, what you said was, man, sometimes you gotta be there. You gotta take a chance for that. Be there for the opportunity. You know what I mean? Itself. You know what I mean?
So calling God, like he has a certain assignment. He has a certain assignment for. I mean, I had to give that up at one point because music wasn't working out. Like not to the point that. So I was like, how do I know this? So I was like, well, how do I know music or being talented to just play some keys and knowing that this is what the Lord has for me? So I said a prayer before working with Teddy, and I was. If this is something that I like to do, I can do it on the weekends with boys. Enlarge my territory to if I got a Depot, Kroger, or whatever it is, I knew that I was going to be covering doing God's word. And not that was a part churchy, but that was a part it's supposed to be like take this away, and I'll get over the fact that I just like to do. See, I was struggling with am I feeling? I submitted, and it was the most Mario JB. It was the most scariest thing. And it was the most Mario JB. It was the most scariest thing. It was the moment that I was honest, and I really meant it. As scared as I was, I believed in the power of the Lord that it could have happened way that it could have wasn't for me, and so praying that prayer, and then a week or two later being in a Teddy Riley rehearsal. Come on, man. I don't know. And because I knew what I asked the Lord to do. You see what I'm saying?
Find a point.
Now,
JB?
You know, I come from a churchy background, so I know you said not to be churchy. But you know what I'm about to ask. I gotta turn a rough corner. So like how do you settle the fact that you play for worldly artists and then you still call it a gifting? I know the answer. I know, but I want to know, how can you still call this? Not that you can't, but how were you able to still call this a job, a secular job, and still say that it was a gift from God, even though you're playing music that is not all the time glorifying God?
Right. Good question, JB. Good question, JB. I personally feel like on assignment. Everyone, and so not everyone has a chance to be ushered into the church and do an altar call. Where if you don't know the Lord, sometimes you got to go out and bring folks in. And so a lot of times, the brothers that I'm currently working with, shout out to the band Six, just a group of brothers from here that we have an opportunity to work with Korean artists in a K-pop field. And anything, just feel like do it in glory, meaning not in terms of meaning, not in terms of your musical service or your plumbing service or your lawyer or your dentist service, but in terms of what I was struggling with was, if I played organ, Kurt Franklin, but my spirit wasn't right, was it gonna be okay just because I played organ for Kurt Franklin? Right. Or would the Lord be, getting me together and getting me in order because of my spirit, man? So when I go out and I work with these different artists and we pray before the show, we cover ourselves, we cover the people that came and go, I have yet to work with one artist. I mean, from Chris Brown, you guys can look at my resume, ask me. There's not one artist that I've worked with that we don't come together and join hands and pray, which now makes it feel very much like my roots in church. Okay. So I think the only difference is, we play games in church, whereas in the secular thing, it's out there. You go to see an artist like a NDIRE or Jill Scott that may have a neutral, positive message that may not be as provocative as a Beyonce or Janet Jackson, but you can still go to the concessions and get you a beer. You can still go and do that. So I feel like what we're doing, you have to really show your light. You have to really show your power and who you are. Because the minute you take a picture or sign an autograph and the people hear you speak, and now it's like, wow, that's cool. Because I didn't know that you had a relationship with God. You just came off stage. And so it makes everybody turn their whole. And so, like I said, I believe God can use anyone. And I know that He sends people on assignment. When I throw my hands up and I ask you to place me where you need me, see, I was 3 services a Sunday, Bible study on Wednesday, a youth choir on Thursday, an adult choir on Saturday. I was that dude. My grandmom is a minister teacher. So I come from that whole Bible study background. But when I asked the Lord to put me on assignment, and now He has me out here where I've never been around any hard drugs, I've never been around anything that comes with secular, playing the devil's music, any of that pressure that you feel comes with that. No, it's a choice.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interject, man. I just wanted to jump in right there because I was going to ask this question a little bit later, but while we're on this topic, I wanted to know, or for you to help people, because I've seen situations where some guys aren't mentally strong enough to handle the road or to handle, the pressure that comes along with it. So I wanted you to kind of speak to what type of discipline does it take to not get swallowed up in the glitz and the glamour and, everything that comes along with being connected to these great artists.
It's the spirit. Because if I was playing for Ricky Dillard, and my spirit is I'm going to smash every girl in the crowd, or I'm going to try to talk to this choir director, that choir director, that same spirit is going to be there when you're working with Chris Brown and Usher. Yeah. But if your spirit is saying, hey, I'm going to find me a good woman, or if you're, a female that does things, I'm going to wait till the Lord sends me someone. I'm saying in your spirit man and your spirit woman, as you carry yourself, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So it starts with what's your character? Absolutely. Now, some people who are struggling with certain things and the Lord is still working on them, then yeah, you don't need those trials and tribulations or that temptation of putting yourself in a situation where God ain't fixed you yet. Yeah. But I don't struggle with that. It could be because I'm a Leo, I'm a very headstrong, motivated person.
Shout out Leo.
Yeah, I don't care. Shout out to Leo. I don't follow the crowd. I set my own. So I'm the same cat that I've been when I was playing at church 3 times a week, or if I'm on tour with Chris Brown. You see what I'm saying? And the same things that I struggle with walking into church, it's the same things I may struggle with on stage with Chris, but it's a spirit thing. It's not an environment thing. Because if something vexes you, or if you know something is not of you, or you're not like, oh, I don't do that, you're not gonna do it regardless.
Right.
But if you know you're struck, so I guess to answer your question, if you're a young aspiring musician or vocalist or singer, and you know that there's certain things that God hasn't changed in you yet, then yeah, you don't put yourself, whatever the proper term is, but you don't put yourself, in that lion's den, knowing that,
Yeah.
you're subject to be afraid of the lion. You only step in that lion's den if you have enough courage to know that that lion, can't do nothing with you, or you just, you see what I'm saying? I mean, figuratively speaking. So
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that it starts from within.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I want to dig into some of the process, some of the technical things, because I know we do have some musicians on the line, and I want you to take us through the process. So you get the call from an artist,
Yeah.
requesting you to be an MD on their for their live show or tour, whatever is going on. So what happens next? How do you proceed from the call to the show? Like, what happens in between it? Do you pick band members, or do you work with band members that are already in place? Kind of give us some different scenarios.
So typically, and this is for the musicians that are listening, typically my first job, because before we talk money or before we talk anything, I want to get into the artist and knowing that I can convey or help them with whatever they're trying to say as an artist, right? So everybody's different. And so like JB was saying earlier, the musician or the music director is every bit the live producer.
Yeah.
He produces that show. And we can talk about programming and things like that, but we're just talking about straight music directing. The first thing I want to know is I want to meet with the artist, and I don't think about my team. I don't think about money. All I think about is the artist. I want to listen to all their music. I want to watch all their interviews to get in the mind of who the artist is and what they're trying to say. And that way, I'll know JB's the perfect piano player. Mario's the perfect vocalist. This dude's the perfect drummer. This guy's the perfect bass player. I'll start conceptualizing that.
Gotcha.
Once I conceptualize that with the artist, and I feel like I understand who the artist is, then we have to talk money. Only because the budget has a lot to do with what goes into this. Can you afford 4 and 5 musicians? Can you afford maybe just a piano player? Should we come together and record a track show? There's a lot of artists that do track that I'm music director for that they've never seen a live band. We play track to tape, if you guys know what that means. Basically playing live in the studio environment, and that's what the artist performs to. Hey, track for them too. And the music you hear is us. If you have a bigger budget and you can afford the livelihood, because essentially as an artist, no matter how much money you've made, you have to be willing to be responsible for the people that you're hiring from the time they leave their home to the time you send them back home. So if something happens with Mario on a plane, God forbid something happens with YungWurld on a plane, and we don't have medical insurance, well, we're on your dime. So you guys don't leave us just on the plane laid out. You got to make sure y'all get us help, assistance, whatever it is. He doesn't have insurance, but there's a cost. But you can't dig in my pockets and start looking at cash. Someone has to cover that. You have to be responsible for the people that you're moving in and out when you're hiring them. And so it's a lot of different folds to the conversation. But it's first getting to the artist, because that's how you get into making them happy and telling their story. Where it's not just, you hire YungWurld, he's going to give you the same production or the same sound. Like you order a pizza, you don't care what the last guy ordered. You want a super veggie or super meat lovers or whatever. So that's how each artist is. You're getting recommended off your work, but they want you to cater to them and provide whatever it is their specific thing is. And so once you achieve that, now you can put a price tag on it. So you can't put a price tag on something and you're missing the mark in terms of what they're trying to say. So once you get your story down with the artist, once you get a budget to know who you can hire and who you can't, yeah, it's very much you're in the hot seat, because now you're on the line. You have to hire the right people that's going to be on time, that's going to be punctual, and not just band. I have to hire the background singers. I have to hire the musicians. I have to meet with the choreographer to get their vision, if it's that type of gig. Obviously, if it's Erykah Badu or something like that, where there's no dancers, Fred Hammond or something, then that's different. But if it's a pop gig or a popular gig where they have other moving parts, as the music director, you're responsible for that entire live production. And so it's the hot seat. You know, the artist, if it's a new artist that don't know where to go, you're the one that, okay, you got to stand here, put your mic here. Don't cover the capsule. Hold your mic here. Don't belt into the mic loud. You know, because I've been dealing with artists where if they've never had vocal training, now I have to be that. I have to make sure the artist is holding the mic at a certain thing, you know, the professional thing to do. I can hear in their voice, like, did you warm up? They've never warmed up a day in their life. So now it's my job to make sure that I'm warming up with the artist. So I make a tape that they can warm up to. I'm rehearsing the background singers. You, as a music director, are very much a coach that, in my opinion, and no shade to musicians that's listening, that's straight out of high school, not high school, straight out of college, or maybe high school, straight out of high school, straight out of college, straight out of Berkeley, getting an opportunity to MD, I would very much turn that down. Or I would very much accept the job to bring in an OG to MD as you supervise or you watch under them. Because music director has nothing to do with your talent as it does with your experience. Because you have to be the guy that's cool at all times. You have to be the guy that keeps the artist comfortable. You have to be the guy that can speak to your band members and get them in check if it needs to be in check. And I don't mean anything wrong. I just mean if you can't hear yourself, if everything's frustrating, if everybody's talking at one time, you have to be able to get control. For the longest, Teddy didn't want to hire me as the MD because I was always small in stature, always had a baby face, so he felt like he's so much of a kid that even though he's talented, the guys aren't going to listen to him. He's not going to be able to control the band. Right. And one day, Teddy saw me take control, and he didn't, you know, I'm a pretty mild guy, but when it's time to go to work, that door closes and a different thing comes out. And so basically that's what, in short, that's what comes with music director. It's a few different shades that you are ultimately responsible for. Yeah. And so if you don't have that under your belt, you shouldn't raise your hand and qualify for that. Because the higher up you get up the ladder, that could be your name on the line if you don't know what you're doing. An artist can come in and see 2 seconds, you don't know what you're doing, and fire you. Now you don't know what happened, they didn't like my boys, we had hot arrangements. It's like, that's cool, they were talented, but your leadership wasn't strong enough to make the people involved feel comfortable. Wow.
So you spoke a little bit to it, but what's the difference between a musician, right, and a music director? I know you were about to speak to it earlier, and so what's the difference between the two?
The difference between the two is, as a talented musician, that qualifies you to be in this rehearsal with Whitney Houston. Because you're dope at what you do. You can play your act. See, Whitney goes into a lot of church hymns and things like that until you can play for her, you have to be well diverse. Because she goes anywhere, not live, but just in hanging. Hey man, let me play. Let me hear you. Oh, I'm a singer. She's singing one of them old, Sissy Houston, Dionne Warwick hymns that you're like, wait a minute, I ain't heard that before. So you have to know that she's only dealing with someone like Whitney per se. She's only dealing with the best of the best. Or someone like K. Michelle, who I don't mind speaking, when I got with her, she was a younger artist who maybe didn't go through the artist development thing, so her temperament was different. She didn't understand a lot of things. We had to explain things to her. And if things didn't seem right, she was using natural knowledge, natural logic. Why isn't this? Why isn't that? They said sound check at 4 o'clock. Yeah, it came, but the load-in wasn't until 2:30. There's no way they're going to be ready at 4. Your management should have told you. Now, this is me giving her the actual factual. She's like, hey, what's the load-in? Oh, so my management didn't do something. So what I'm saying is, being a talented musician only gets you in the door and in the room to start your training. It's no different than a soldier. So you go through all that eagle eye, can you be a marksman, can you be this, can you be that? Not to be a general. You go through all of that to get your uniform, to be on the front line, to be a part of the platoon. Now, after you've fought a few battles and lost a few wars, yada, 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 yada,
yeah, that makes sense.
Graduate and earn your stripes and earn your Purple Heart. And that's every bit of what I see. A lot of talented guys that just don't understand the music director thing. And there's nothing wrong. It's just your career started in the hot seat instead of you being around long enough to get that education and to get that schooling to see how it goes. You see? So that's all. But there's no, see what I'm saying is, a music director doesn't even have to play an instrument.
Yep.
It's almost like in church. When I was in church, I mean, I ain't played in church for 20 years, but we had minister music.
Right.
Who never played, at least in my church. Minister music never played, but she would hire a band leader or someone in charge of the band. So it's almost like in the secular world, that music director really doesn't even have to play. It can be you could almost change the title to musical supervisor or musical producer or musical coach, because all you're doing is hiring the right people to come in. Right now I'm music director for Leela James, and I've probably done less concerts than I have played concerts.
Wow.
But done all teaching, I've done all her musical programming, and I've hired the guys that I come in, I rehearse them, I make sure they're good, I hire a band leader, make sure he's got everything straight, and her and I still talk one-on-one. So I can be in Tokyo, I can be in Okinawa. If something's not right, she doesn't go to the band leader, she comes back to me as the music director and say, hey, the show was, I mean, she's never said it, but as an example,
Sure.
hey, the show was horrible, I don't know what's going on with the arrangement, I don't know what's going on with the band, and then I call my band leader and say, hey, now I still don't have to be music, I don't have to be Beethoven to do that. I can still have enough musical cultural sense to be a coach, to be like, listen, no, don't rehearse that way, do it this way. You guys only rehearse 5 hours, maybe you need to rehearse 8 hours. You know, it's basically a supervisor position that, in my opinion, you should only be promoted to with enough experience. You don't come in playing your bass, being in charge of that. That's a different beast.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah. So another thing I wanted to ask you was, I know there's been times where, you know, we faced unexpected circumstances, you know, during showtime, and we have to learn to adjust right then and there. So I wanted to know, has there been a time when you had, you know, to work through some glitches, like some major glitches in the heat of the moment?
Yeah, we call them war stories. Okay. And so if I go from the most recent glitch, and then we can continue to go back if we choose, but real brief, so I work with a K-pop group, their name is Blackpink. They're playing stadiums. So for those of y'all that's listening, there's sheds, which are like outside amphitheaters. Well, there's bars and things like that, or there's sanctuaries and things like that. There's theaters, there's arenas, which I believe arenas are probably still a little smaller than like Major League Baseball parks. And then there's stadiums where, you know, big ones play, the New Orleans Saints, Buffalo Bills, you know, football, you know, 70, 80, whatever. Yeah. So I believe a stadium is either 50,000 or more, right? And so I just joined this K-pop group. We're doing 55,000 people or better every night. I came in with maybe 3 or 4 shows. Well, not even that. I came in and played a few festival shows that were only 20, 30 minutes. My first world tour show was at Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan. A full 2-hour show, and it was being recorded to DVD. And so it's such a big deal because this company is used to working at such a level that they don't care. They care, but if I come in with my credentials, I work with Whitney Houston, Chris Brown, Usher, and I tear their show up, they don't care who I work with. They like, all the people, you were supposed to come in slamming, right? And so we get there, and for the keyboard players out there, JB, you might know a little bit about this. I use software sense. So I don't use the physical sounds of the keyboard, I use my computer. And as we all know, with emails, with downloading, with anything, a computer will send you smooth down and play.
Come on, man.
And so I'm pretty good with my technical support and troubleshooting, right? And so I feel pretty confident. And so, yeah, I was playing the show real smooth and pretty good. And then maybe about halfway through, in a bridge section where it features just me, I made a mistake because I panicked. And I made a mistake because I panicked and it had my computer that glitched. And I didn't panic because I was nervous. I made a move quicker than what I normally do because in real time, in a real live show, it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, if I'm a little bit behind switching a sound or something because it's live. Yeah. But knowing that they were recording the DVD, technically for you guys out there, I kept my foot on the sustain pedal and switched my patch too early without releasing my foot, and it had the sound to hold. Oh. So now that I switched the sound, you hear, so I turn the sound off, and now I'm trying to bring it back in. So I'm like, hard pump. So now because I have so many other keyboards, I just had to go to another keyboard and play the bridge, right? And so I don't think many people. I think the band was almost smiling because I played a different sound, but I don't think they knew what was happening until we have talkback mics, which are basically mics that we can communicate with our techs, with our other musicians. And so when we got the first break, I was like, I'm so sorry, my computer. And so the MD, he's so cool. He was more so just, are you okay? Is the computer okay? They weren't even thinking about the glitch.
Wow.
But on the playback, when you watch the DVD, you don't notice it. Because if a mine sounded like that, and I made the transition so fast when I saw the note stick that by the time I cut it off and went to the next chord, it was so smooth that type of frustration didn't even come across. You would never even know. There was a few band members that was like, I can tell something happened because the sound is different than what we're used to hearing. But as far as a glitch, so what I'm trying to get people to understand is I'm coming in 20 years of strong experience, right? Not since I've been playing in my Baptist church. I'm about 20 years of being one of the greatest producers of all time, one of the biggest selling artists of all time, and now you got me 20 years later. So there was a lot of whoopings, a lot of, hey man, there was a lot of constructive criticism that I had to endure, but it's made me to the point where Tokyo Dome, 50-something thousand people, something as simple as a computer glitch, I know enough not to melt. I know enough to, and just go right to my next keyboard and get it done. And so those are the things that come with experience and come with just getting your maturity together. Because at that point, it didn't matter that it was 50-something thousand people Tokyo Dome. It just mattered that I did a satisfactory job, that they would want me to come back and continue to be a part of this band.
Wow.
You feel me? Awesome.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Victor Wooten said something similar to that. He was practicing, and I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what he said, but he said something like, he practices to hit bad notes so that he knows how to transition the bad notes to good notes, if that makes sense. I think that's amazing. But I guess my question then too is, how do you know? Where did you get the wherewithal to be able to keep your cool in those situations? Because that's a huge situation, right? You talk about 55,000 plus people. Where does that come from to keep your cool in different types of situations with band members, with artists, and things like that?
Yeah, basically my first situation wasn't arenas. It was amphitheaters when I first went out with Teddy. So when I first, that Teddy story I told y'all, I was rehearsing with Guy, which is Teddy Riley, Aaron Hall, Damian Hall. And then shortly after, they added Blackstreet to the bill. And then shortly after, I left them and got with Tony, and then New Edition. It wasn't until New Edition that I started playing arenas. I went on to play arenas with Teddy, but I'm saying at that time, our timeline was amphitheater, theater, arenas. And so the size of the arena, I felt like I had to play louder, I felt like I had to rock harder, I felt like I had to overcompensate until I started talking to veteran musicians and explaining to them what I was going through. And they was like, in time, you'll get it. They didn't really give me much advice, they just said in time. And what I started learning was just how to calm down. So when I say 20 years, I know a lot of people who say 20 years, and that means I did a gig here, I did a gig there. Oh, I probably played bass for Angie Stone here. I maybe play. I'm talking about 20 years, bro. I'm talking about up until COVID. The longest I've been home was a month in 20 years.
Wow.
So 20 years ago from today, up until March 7th of this year, I'd probably be home maybe 3 to 4. I think the longest was maybe a month before you get called to go work with the next artist. And so you just learn by trial and error. First, you start believing in yourself. And even if you flubber or make a mistake, you learn that it's accepted because you've been proven, your stats. It's like Michael Jordan missing a free throw. You're not going to cut him from the Bulls. You understand his value, even though he's a human being.
Absolutely.
So I've learned how to, even in error, still blanket it enough to where you don't ruin the entire. Real quick, so there's a piano ballad that I played with this young lady on the K-pop named Jisoo. And so when we were rehearsing, the songs were out of order. And so when it was so dark on stage, and they got these little lights that I'm looking at my set list, and the music director called the song so fast. Remember, they had been on the world tour for 2 years. This is my first show. So we in sound check, and when he calls the song, not only do I have to understand what song he's talking about, I have to go and change my setting. But when he went to change the setting, the Pro Tools guy starts the click track, and when the track starts, the production, everything starts moving, but there's no piano. I mean, it's butt naked. And so everybody stops, and they're on the walkie-talkie like, what's going on? So I looked at Omar, and I just nodded my head because he knew what I was doing. And so the show producer was like, what was that? He was like, let's do it one more time. And then she thought about it, and she was like, is he all alone right there? And he was like, yeah. She's like, do we need to put something in there? He's like, no, he got it. And just that confidence he had.
Wow.
Played it again, I was there. We did it that night, I was there. But if you're not experienced enough, that's enough to mess with you. Oh my God, I gotta make sure I don't mess up tonight. Oh my God. No, you know good and well. I didn't mess up because I wasn't confident. I messed up because we're now adjusting to the new things that's happening. And I was just, man, the music director ain't number 29 years old. I'm like, man, that's crazy. You had that much faith in me. He didn't even, hey man, are you sure you're good? I mean, he told her, no, we got it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it must be that confidence that I've exuded, since those guys have met me. So what I'm saying is, all of that comes from trial and error.
Sure.
Things start to slow down. You start to get more poised, and no matter how big the arena, you're like, I've been here before. I know.
Got you.
Yeah.
Wow. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, man, this is great, man. Just digging and getting so much information.
I can't see the chat. Are they asking questions? Or
I haven't gotten any questions yet. But I do want to. I know I have one more thing that I wanted to kind of dig with, so we can start to wrap it up. But I know that you've created opportunities for other musicians, which is awesome, man. So I want to know what it is that, and you also do something. I think it's called the unknown killers. Yeah. So what is it that you look for when you're filling open positions, and just to kind of give people some insight on what it is that they need to be honing their skills in, or what type of character and things like that they need to.
Yeah. The problem that I'm having now with social media is that guys are getting confused, with views and actually being adequate to do a professional job. So you can be playing your favorite lick or your favorite role as sloppy as you want to be, but if you have just that following and that type of support, 4,000 or 5,000 views can confuse you to think that now I'm ready to record, or I'm ready to play on a record, or I'm ready to. So with the Unknown Killers, what I do is the ones that I post, they all go through some level of construction, right? They email me, I'll post a blast like, hey, here's an email address, everybody send me your stuff, I just want to highlight you guys on my channel, and so I'll get a lot of really bad submissions, and I'm like, yo, this is horrible, and not because you're not talented, why are you playing drums and in that mic, or why you have the music coming out of your phone as opposed to having it coming out of a studio desk or something where we can hear what you're playing to. It's like, it's that absence of thought, because no one has ever, kind of kicked you in the butt and said, no, man, this is a professional. And so, either way, for those that do take those steps and it's still not all the way perfect, they get critiqued, and then the best ones are the ones that I feel are have the most potential. I will post them. And what it's based off is their response to my constructive criticism. If I feel that you're talented, I'm going to try to rip your heart out. Horrible. Why would you do this? And I'm gonna see how they respond. Not because I need someone to kiss butt, but I need someone to be receptive to that.
Yeah.
You work with those type of people, and they're paying you X amount of dollars. You have to be on time. You have to look the part. You have to yada yada yada. It's like you can't just come in there with any old thing or presentation wise, because any music director is like, yo, I came over here to eat. I don't have to do it.
Right.
So what musicians can do to repay the music director is like, yo, you over here doing Christina Aguilera or Madonna, you could have called anybody. And so I'm going to take pride in my appearance. Yeah, I know we've been grinding. I'm going to call a barber to come to the hotel and line me up. Not because I have an appearance, but because the artists come in. If management comes in, I want to look the part. This is how you get hired for the next job, and so on and so forth. And so what I look for in the Unknown Killers is just people that have that heart and that hunger that I have. Not someone that's, it's so many people, if those are still listening, it's so many people that will come at me as if they're qualified. Hey man, if you need a bass player, give me a call. I'm like, I have a session with whoever next week, Usher, and you've never done anything outside of your local church. Instead of saying, hey man, what is it that I can work on as a bass player, as a drummer, as a guitar player, as a keyboard player, that would have you to want to call me one day. See, they don't ask the question, they just make themselves available. Now, no video, no MP3, just a bunch of words, and it's like, bro, I don't know who you are. You know who I am because you actually made the effort to introduce yourself. No problem. But now taking a step forward, can you imagine if I was 19, 20 years old and had access to Ricky Minor or something? I would upload them with so many ideas and things to where you wouldn't have no choice but to call me. But guys are like trying to take me out for lunch, and they want to be cool, and then they're not even buying tickets to the show. They want to see if I can hook them up. It's like, bro, I've bought an $82 ticket to the Janet Jackson All For You tour. I bought an $85 ticket to the Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera dual strip tour. I mean, to this day, and I got all the connections, I still won't get comps from my homies. I will buy a seat and support. And I don't want to be backstage. I don't want to do that. So because I want to get it from a learning standpoint, even to this day. I don't want to be backstage and shaking hands and kissing babies. I want to get the knowledge of it. And so that's what I look for in Unknown Gun. And I can tell, bro, smoke is Mario. If you see smoke on the highway, you're going to know if it's an accident or somebody barbecuing. You don't see no big black smoke and think, oh, it's coming from somebody's house barbecuing. You're going to be able to see that smoke and smell that propane or that fuel and be like somebody crashed. Yeah. No difference in music. You send me an email, you playing games, I'm going to tear you up. You send me an email and you're serious, I'm going to still tear you up because at the same time, I see the potential in both people. It's just the people that get posted and the people that are a little closer to those that, maybe try to do their best. You know what I mean? That's basically, but I love it, man. I love it. Showcase, different guys on the thing.
That's good stuff.
That's what's
Listen,
up.
man, we've gone over time, man. I've enjoyed it so much, man.
Yeah.
I definitely we gotta have you back, man, because it's
For sure.
There's so much more, bro. This ain't the half of it. But before we wrap up, man, I wanted to know if you could just give them, your social media handles, and I know you got some things going on right now with Patreon. So just talk a little bit about that, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
So basically, my Facebook is YungWurld. YUNG is 2 words. YUNGWURLD. That's Facebook. YUNGWURLD. At Twitter, it's I am YungWurld. So same spelling of YungWurld, just I am, and no spaces. It's all compressed together at I am YungWurld. On Instagram, I am YungWurld. Same spelling. And then Patreon. So Patreon is just a private subscription-based club that I've started based off the needs and wants of the people. I get so many different DMs, so many private messages about different things that it's cool that I'm quarantined and I don't have anything to do, but once my life picks back up, it's going to be hard to answer each and every one, especially if I have 6 or 7 guys with the same question. So I just created a platform, but I like to call it a private club. I mean, my family just kind of call me, you said this, or you said that. It's like I like to take the gloves off and just talk without compromising myself or the people. I would never say anything intentionally to hurt anyone or to expose anyone, but I'm trying to talk as real as possible and be transparent so it encourages and inspires people to want to continue to pursue their passion. So at Patreon, if you go to my Facebook page and you see any one of the links, the link is always in the description, and then if you go to my Instagram, the link is in my bio. And basically all it is just a platform where you can ask me tough questions, and I'll respond either with an audio story or an email reply. I'll also be uploading my own audio stories. I have 3 up there so far, which basically talks about my journey. What was it like working for Diddy? What was it like getting the Chris Brown gig? What was it like working for Usher? What was it like being on this record? What was it like the first time, Saturday Night Live, American Music Awards, whatever, traveling, doing this? How do you save your money? How do you invest your money? It's all these different things that I'm talking about that maybe, the regular traffic on social media don't care about. Okay, so let's go over here and let's talk to those that want to hear. So sign up, go over there, man. I'm going to be dropping MIDI files from previous shows or previous albums I've played on tours. I'll be dropping all the type of content, downloadable tracks that you guys can share to, bass, drums, keys, guitar. Sometimes I do challenges, and I'll have some of my young homies help me out, and then those tracks are available exclusive. So what I'm doing is, even if you're not subscribed and you see certain people playing, the only way you can get this content or my stories, as y'all know, I can talk. So each of my stories are at least an hour long. I'm digging in, and I'm being as candid as possible. So it's a lot of good information, man, over there. So for those that want that, just go on over there and subscribe.
Cool.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Well, man, thank you again, bro. We don't take this lightly. Just you bringing your supply and being freely giving with your information, man. It means a lot. And I have to say this, man. Your family has been a tremendous blessing to me, man. From mom to sister to sisters to aunts, and man, I've just got adopted into the fam, bro. And it's just been a blessing, man. So I'm honored to just even be connected to you. You even created some opportunities for me with major artists that we won't share right now. But I'm grateful, man. I'm truly grateful just your heart, your talent, your character, everything, man. Just you as an individual, man. I want to let the world know that we appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely.
James, yo,
Absolutely.
we did it, bro. If people knew what we go through behind the scenes, man, to kind of make stuff like this happen. Wow. Oh my God, man. Yeah, it's a lot of challenges. So we appreciate all of our listeners, all of our viewers that tuned in tonight. Continue to support us, continue to share it, help us grow this platform so we can continue to give you great information. And subscribe to the YouTube, Facebook. As you've seen, there was a ticker, I believe, below that had all that information. But we invite your feedback. Your feedback helps us to grow as well. We're not softies, so if it was terrible, let us know it was terrible, and we'll work on it. Okay. And
if it's terrible, I'll go live in 5 minutes. This is terrible. Let's talk about how Right. I'm just playing. Davey, it was a pleasure meeting you too, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hit me up on social media or whatever, man.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, anytime I can give back and do this, I mean, it was such a comfortable thing. I think when Mario first said me, I'm like, well, how long is it? Only because I know some people can overstay their welcome. But
sure.
This felt so comfortable and felt like, oh man, I didn't even realize I could see the ticker going. I didn't even know we were going. I'll hit me up anytime, and culturally, if you need anything from me, you want different guests on, or want me to use my resources to help build a platform, like it's a lot of people that would love to come on and talk in this type of environment.
That's what's up.
It's not the controversy. I ain't know what y'all was asking, but everything's so comfortable. Because Mario, you'd be like family. I thought you was going, okay, let's take the gloves off. But no, it was beautiful. So now that I see the platform, feel free to hit me if you guys need anything from me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, man. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Monday through Friday, man. Monday through Friday, you guys. Same time, same place. 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Tomorrow, we will be speaking with a videographer by the name of, and filmmaker by the name of Theo Rogers. That's another piece of the puzzle. So we're just bringing you everything music and education. So he's bringing a whole different perspective, and we're excited to have him as well. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. If you know any filmmakers, videographers, any young people that want to get into the industry and know what cameras to use, what lenses, and that type of thing, tomorrow's a conversation that you want to be a part of. So, JB, you want to take us out, bro?
Thank you again. Till tomorrow. Peace.